Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Another Fat Guy Cooks. I'm your fat guy, Andy Baker, and today we are going to make Churro almonds. Let's go. Now I know what you're thinking, is this just an excuse to talk about my nuts? Yes it is. Today we're going to be making my favourite snack, which I found recently, which I've been making about 3 times a week now for the last couple of 2-3 weeks, because it's fucking delicious. Churro almonds, which are basically just almonds with a sugar coating with cinnamon and salt. The only tricky thing about it is just the timing of getting them out when you're sugar coating them, because if you cock that up, then you have to start again, it makes a mess, it doesn't work. So I'm going to show you how to do it, because I love them, and I really want you to enjoy my hot, sweet nuts. Because honestly, there's nothing better than a mouthful of sweet, succulent, tasty nuts. Super easy recipe, right? Okay, so we've got a pan. You want about 1/4 cup of water. So the sugar coating, I've played around with a little bit, and I've found my favourite combination of sugars. You can use kind of whatever you want. All you really need is about 1 cup and a bit of sugar, and it will probably work. But what I've found is about 1/3 cup of light brown, about 1/3 cup of dark brown. This is actually dark brown muscovado, which is my favourite. And then about basically enough to make it up to 1 cup and a bit of just standard basic bitch granulated sugar. So we're just going to throw in about another 1/3 cup roughly of that, a little bit more maybe. Okay. And then you want some ground cinnamon, which we're going to throw in. About, again, to taste, I like about 1/2 tablespoon. I like it to be nice and cinnamony. And some salt. About, I don't know, teaspoon, a bit more. Bit of salt. Right. Did I bring anything to stir this with outside with me? Yes, I did. Okay, so you should be able to see this on the other camera. There you go. So we're just going to stir all of this together till the water and everything makes it into a nice paste. Get it all combined. At this point, does it look slightly like Guinness shit? Yeah. Okay, we're going to stick this on medium heat, and we are going to start bringing that up till the sugar starts to melt and it basically just becomes a syrup. And you're going to have a lovely cinnamony dark syrup. So the plan is, when I actually start doing this, I'm probably going to have to do it quite quickly, and when the point comes to take it off, it's all quite quick. What you're trying to do is boil the water off out of the syrup to the point where the sugar starts to recrystallize around your almonds. We're going to throw our almonds in a second, and you need to pull it off at the second your sugar starts to recrystallize, spread it out, and then let it cool. If you go too soon, it stays sloppy and a mess. If you go too late, it actually just separates the almonds from the sugar, and you end up with a pan of sugar and with almonds in it and nothing stuck together. So you have to time it quite well. I know this because I've cocked it up a few times. Now these things I have spread around a bit, because if I kept all of them here that I'd been making recently, then I would probably be 5 times this size. But they're like crack. They are just so tasty, so easy just to keep slamming down. I absolutely love them. I just love nuts. I just absolutely love nuts. I love them in my mouth. I like to sometimes have them in my pocket. I like, honestly, if there was anything I could do, I'd just like to just be covered in nuts all the time. Okay, so we're going to add about 200 grams of almonds, which I think is like 2 decent handfuls. 1, 2, maybe a few more. Like so. And then we're just going to keep stirring this and never stop. This part I'm probably going to fast forward through because it takes a while. It's going to start foaming, it's going to start bubbling, it's going to start doing shit, but it's still going to maintain like a sloppy consistency, and you're going to have like liquid sugar in the pan. It's when it starts, everything starts tightening up a little bit, that's when you need to pull it. But we'll be back for the moment when, when my nuts start to get tight. That's kind of what I'm looking for, tight nuts. One thing I'm doing while I wait is just lay out a nice big area of parchment, which we will dump our nuts on. Basically, I'm going to dump out my nuts onto this parchment when they're ready. So quickly, this episode was supposed to be just like a little baby episode, and then I was supposed to be doing this week a Halloween episode, because it's Halloween. Happy Halloween. Well, the stuff that I required for the Halloween episode hasn't turned up yet, so my nuts are starting to bubble up a little bit. Excuse me. So yeah, there was supposed to be a Halloween episode this week. There was stuff that I needed to buy to do that. That hasn't turned up yet, so it's now going to be next week or the week after. It's going to be worth the wait. It's going to be gross. I'm going to do shit to myself that I regret already and I've not done it. You'll enjoy it, trust me. So at the moment, as you can see, my nuts are still quite sloppy, but they're starting now to get to the point where the syrup surrounding my nuts is starting to thicken. You've got to wait until it starts to get really, really thick, till I've got really thick syrupy nuts, and that's the point when you dump your nuts out all over the kitchen counter. No, you know what, for a second I thought I might be going too over the top with the nut shit, but I think we're good. Okay, so we're starting to get now to the point where there seems to be less and less liquid in here, and it's all starting to come together as one a little bit more. You know, when the viscous brown ooze surrounding your nuts starts making them all stick together, that's when you know you're ready. It's always polite to give a warning when your nuts are ready to be dumped out. You don't want to be catching anyone by surprise. Okay, we're pretty much there. Let's get ready to dump out our nuts. Nuts officially emptied. And then we're just going to let them sit out. They're going to start to solidify and stick together a bit, which is fine. And then once they're cooled, what we do is wrap them up and then give them a bit of a shake, give our nuts a bit of a jostle, and then that separates them all nicely. Stick them in a bowl, eat them. Okay, so before they're fully set, I'm just going to give them a little jostle, like so, and then try and separate them out a little bit more. Well, try not to burn yourself too violently. Ow. Oh my god, it hurts, but it's also so tasty. Probably should have got like some sort of vessel to put my nuts in. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna get all four corners, lift this up, give them a little bit of a jostle around. Don't let any escape. And then dump them out onto here. If you end up with any like especially big clumps and nuts, you just break them up with your hands. But there you go. So these are amazing. Just stick them in little baggies, give them your friends, take some round for parties and stuff. Honestly, people will like eat one or two and then never stop. So yeah, there you have it. Beautiful. What were these called again? I honestly can't remember. I've been saying nuts so many times, that's all I can do. Almonds. Churro almonds. So yeah, lovely, tasty, sweet, salty, cinnamony. Oh man, how do I end this? I forget how I end this episode. So there you have it, Churro almonds. Make them for everybody. Everybody loves a nice big mouthful of nuts. Another fat guy's just cooked. I'll see you guys next time.
Another fat guy cooked.